now officially a homeowner. So this is your celebration gift. Congratulations.
All right, let's do this. Hello guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Simioa. I am a writer, content creator over at houseofwriter.com. In today's video, I am finally sharing big news. I have been sitting on this news for pretty much the entire year right now. And I have actually shared the news on Instagram, so if you follow me, you already know that. If you don't follow me, you might want to. And yeah, we sort of bought a house, a building, a multi-unit property, and it has been quite an adventure. We definitely didn't start off the year thinking that we're gonna do that, and somehow it all just worked out that way. Before we get into the video, a quick disclaimer. So I have held on to this news for as long as I have because of the year that 2020 has turned out to be. It is important to me as a content creator that my content reflects or resonates with the times, the current event. And with so much happening, so much loss, so much pain, so much suffering, I felt like, or I questioned whether or not it was tone deaf to release a video or share this great news like, oh, here's my new shiny house, when the rest of the world is going through it. So that's kind of the reason why I've kind of held on to this news. I'm sharing now because I think that someone might be inspired by the story, because it is quite the story. But I just hope that you guys watch. I hope that I have done a decent job of mindfully navigating the space. If at any point in the video it doesn't come across that way, I hope that you will consider it an honest misstep, because it's very important to me that this resonates the right way. And for some people, this is just not the time. This is not the time for the light at the end of the tunnel. I completely understand. I hope that we can reconnect at a later time. All in, I would just say that I hope that we all continue to be kind to each other, kind to one another. And we just have to keep holding on. We will get through this. I am 100% certain that we will. All right, that being said, let's get into the video. So let's see where to begin. As you guys know, I am a newlywed. I'm coming up on my second wedding anniversary in February. Yeah, it's been 2 years already. And yeah, like you get married, it's a great guy, it's a new chapter of your life, you're excited, life is good, great. And then 2 weeks later, literally 2 weeks after we got married, we lost our main source of income. Yeah. The analogy that I use for that is like, oh, you wear a white outfit and you're feeling fly and it's good and great, and someone just pours a cup of coffee just like right down the middle. And that's literally what that experience felt like. For me, it was a lot of anxiety. It was nerve-wracking, like what in the world is going on? And like, let me be completely honest. There were moments they were just like, hey God, like, is this supposed to be a sign? Is this like, is this something where we're not supposed to have done that? So it was quite a blow. And I think, like, obviously, like losing your main source of income at any time is just, it's rough. But I think for us, it's just like the beginning of something new, something fresh, and then just like this big blow out of nowhere. So yeah, that was what that situation was for us. But all in, I have to say, God was faithful. Like, our needs were met. Of course, with money, if you have more going out than coming in, there will be a deficit. But all in, things could have been significantly worse. And in general, I don't want to dwell on this too much, because I know that this loss of income is a reality for a lot of people. So I feel like this is a feeling that is well understood. So yeah, that definitely happened. And that just, so like our first few months as like man and wife, it was just like this anxiety, like what is going to happen, like when next, when is this going to be resolved? It was completely derailed us, completely destabilized us. But we move. So eventually we got an offer. Thank you, Jesus. And wait for it. The offer we got, came in higher than the income we lost. So at that point in time, I'm already like, yes, thank you, Jesus. Like, this is a testimony, you know, we're good, chilling. But of course, you know how these things go, corporate America, the idea is you want to, or like it's advised that you negotiate your offer. And you hear a lot of people will say, oh yeah, like what's the worst case scenario? Like they'll say no, you move on with life. Well, people don't discuss a different worst case scenario, one that I should mention at this point that we have first-hand experience in. A few years back, when we're still dating, one of us wanted to switch jobs, you know, applied, got an offer somewhere. And when we were negotiating the offer, they actually rescinded the offer because we tried to negotiate it. So we've seen worst case scenario, which is you try to negotiate the offer and then they take it away altogether. So we have that experience, and that was kind of why this was a tricky space for us to be in. So literally we spent 2 days going back and forth, consulted with close friends, family, like, okay, what do we do here? Should we negotiate? Should we just take it and just keep it moving? Honestly speaking, I would be 100% honest. I was like, you know what? Let's just take it and keep it pushing. You know, this is best case scenario that I could have asked for. We've already come in higher than what we lost. But HF is, you know, like, yeah, no, let's not walk in faith. We have to trust and believe and blah, 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 blah. But I'm thinking to myself,
If this goes wrong.
if this goes wrong. But anyway, we ended up, you know, negotiating the offer, you know, called up HR, literally 5 minutes conversation, like, you know, this is the offer, but we'd like to counter with this, da, 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 5 minutes. You know how those conversations go now. Then the HR is saying, oh, you know, this is kind of the max we want it to be for this position, but talk to the supervisors, the superiors, and we'll get back to you. Great. Literally 20 minutes later, I keep saying literally, but these things literally happened literally. 20 minutes later, they reached back out to us, and guess what? Oh, child. Even like trying to talk about it right now, I feel like I'm like getting teary, and I dare not because I'm wearing lashes for the first time that I applied myself, and I will cry if they if they come off. But yeah, they reached out back to us, and they gave us an offer that was higher than the offer we counted with. Yeah, that happened. So let me just say this again, and let me use like an analogy so someone else like, you get it, you really get it. And before I do this, right, this is just a scale. This is not, you know, I want to share information, but I don't need people counting my money. So, you know, these are not the exact figures, but, you know, just a scale. So say that they offered $20, and then we go back and say, we want 25. And then they come back and say, you know what, here is 28. You can have that. That was literally what happened, y'all. I remember the day like this happened. I was on the floor, like I was crying, sobbing. Yo, I was just like, hey, God. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure like a career coach somewhere might have a different explanation for this, but for me and my household is like, God, like full stop, end of statement. So yeah, that happened, and that was for us. That was the beginning of the restoration. Shortly after that, our second tier income also got a nice boost. So this point, I'm just like overwhelmed with like just blessings. I'm just like, hey, God. All this was in 2019, by the way. So we spent the rest of the year just paying off all our debt. We had like a few credit card debt at that point, just like clearing out outstandings and just doing all of that. Because I think when all of this happened, it was probably like close to the end of the year, September, October. So then we did all of that and then started off 2020. You know, everything was clear, it was good, everything green, we're doing well. Like, you know, it's gonna be a chill year. Little did we know what was about to happen. So before we got married, we knew that we weren't going to buy the first year. We knew we were going to rent. I lived in New Jersey, he lived in Virginia, and then we're going to be moving together. It just felt like it was a chaotic time to buy, plus we felt like we didn't have, again, enough information, like are we going to buy in Virginia or Maryland or DC? So it was a lot of that. So we were already on track to rent the first year, and then we thought maybe like going into the second year we could then look into buying. But obviously what had happened was so that completely derailed our plans to like buy the second year. So now we were looking at maybe the third or maybe the fourth year. So in February of 2020, we went to a party and I ran into an old friend, Buchi Ofodile. I knew Buchi from like back in college. And you know, just like chit-chatting. It's like, oh yeah, like I do real estate full-time now. I'm like, oh great, you know, just conversation like we live in Dayton now, we like it, we one day want to buy there. And which is like, you know, why are you guys looking in the future and not right now? Like, what do you guys pay rent? Give him the figure, and it's like, oh, for that, you guys should definitely be able to find something good in DC. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, look at this one selling me real estate dreams. I did not take it serious at all. I remember on the drive home, I was telling HF, my husband, that, you know, Buchi does real estate full time now. Like, we should definitely keep in contact with him so we can use him when we're ready, because we don't know anyone else that does real estate. So, you know, that was literally the end of that conversation. We didn't think anything to it. There was nothing to it. And I think 2-3 days later, then randomly, Buchi reaches back out to me. Well, not randomly, since I just saw him 2-3 days earlier, but it reached out and was like, oh, just following up on our previous conversation, I have a few open houses this weekend if you guys want to come along, see a few things. And I mean, I'm one of those type of people that has like Pinterest folders for future things that I don't really need. So I was like, oh, I guess we'll look at nice houses. Hey, sign me up. And yeah, that was really how that happened. And then we went to the open house with Buchi, and that kick-started our house buying journey. That took 7 months? What was it? From March to August. April, May, June, July, August. Well, maybe more like 5-6 months, really. I just counted on my fingers. Yeah, more like 5-6 months is what that journey took. And let me tell you, it was the most chaotic, most insane journey ever. I remember we were saying, like, before we got married, we didn't want to buy a house on that chaotic setting. If only we knew what was going to happen. Like, I'm telling you guys, drama. Like, lawyers involved, and not lawyers because we wanted to sign contract, lawyers because things went south. You know, it was the most anxiety-ridden 6 months of my life. Yeah, I feel like it was even worse anxiety than when we lost our income. It was quite the experience, but all in all, you know, ended up here, and I could not have asked for a better situation. This was not a plan. We did not plan to buy a building. We were just looking for a small house to just, you know, both of us just be there, and somehow, like, God completely exceeded that expectation and has placed us here. And yeah, it's been quite an adventure. I think that for the interest of time, I will go ahead and end the video right here, and then record a part 2, which will actually detail those 6 months and just take you guys through the journey, share the houses that we almost bought, and just like the behind the scenes, just the story of how everything just unraveled and how we ended up here. So yeah, just thinking about it just really gets me quite emotional. Whew, yeah. But I just wanted to share because I know that the story would encourage someone. You know, this rough times really do happen, but things do get better. I think my life, I want to get more comfortable with sharing and be more vulnerable and like sharing real moments with you guys, because I think my life really is what's that saying? God, human proposes, God disposes, something of that sort. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm such a planner and this and that, and nothing ever goes according to plan. I'm at that point, I'm like, why do I even bother planning? Why wouldn't I just go with the flow and know that things are gonna be all right? Or like, when things go left, why do I even stress when I know that everything's gonna be all right? So yeah, no, we're all going through tough times now, some more than others, and my thoughts and prayers are with you. I don't really know what to say except that we're gonna get through this. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, you know where the button is. Over here, it's gonna be a lot of home content now that cat is finally out of the bag. It's gonna be a lot of fashion content, just like lifestyle content in general. That's more my jam. And yeah, I just hope that we continue to just take care of ourselves, wear your mask, and just stay safe. Thank you very much.